I'll take it.
We're allowed.
You're allowed through.
Like, this better be good. This is gonna cost us.
And the clock has started.
All right.
Oh, is this mine? You had Rick at hello on this one.
Which one will get five we're looking
Two.
at? Okay. Yeah. You can wear this.
So we're gonna start on the sheet that talks about incentives. Can you see everybody? I don't wanna get too much into numbers here because numbers are boring, but they're right here for you to see.
Okay, fine.
I'm getting there. Can people hear me?
Just use the mic.
Okay.
Can you do
Continue
quick
to yell.
introductions, please? Quick introductions,
Tell them who you are.
Oh, sorry.
please.
We're the Spring Harbor SEALs, like the Navy SEALs, except for blue.
Sharks eat seals.
Oh.
I'm Kelly Morris. I'm the manager for one of the adult services units and the adult psychiatric ICU.
My name is Fawn Mercer, and I'm the clinical manager of clinical services.
Jen Scarborough, nursing director for child and adolescent.
Kim Lebeck, and I'm the manager for the other adult services unit.
Justin Fortier, nurse manager for the child services unit.
Yell right into it, Fawn.
All right. All right, let's talk about incentives.
I'll write the numbers with you.
All right. So currently our incentives for RNs, we're just gonna talk about RNs right now, and we're gonna leave out text just for the sake of time and simple numbers. So our CIs right now are critical incentives. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I talk about incentives?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
You're not selling them, you're selling us. I've been holding it in, I'm sorry.
So if we took CIs that were 30 and BIs that are currently 20, and we cut those in half, our CIs would be 15 and our BIs would be 10.
This is dollars on top of their hourly pay.
This is last minute. Yeah, go ahead.
So our incentive structure is for any of the open shifts we have or any staffing holes that we have for call-outs. The basic incentive generally goes on shifts that are open just from template holes that we have. The critical incentives tend to be more for call-outs or last-minute openings, but we are heavily reliant on them at the hospital in order to fill those staffing gaps. So that's where the incentives come from.
So in talking about halves, where's my marker? When you're talking about halves, so if staff members go to where the money is, which is like a lot of people will hold out kind of for the CIs because it's more money, right? Like, you know, people are stupid. So our idea was that if we went with this, we also have another incentive program called contracts. And our contracts are when you sign up for an extra shift every week for 4 weeks at a time. And that is $1,000. So that contract for $1,000 for a 12-hour shift for 4 weeks. If you divide that out, it actually comes out to about $20 an hour. So this is our old BI, but it's still higher than what we would be going to by cutting them in half. So the idea is to cut things in half for the regular BIs and CIs and move to contracts. If we move to contracts, then we have a predictable way of setting up staffing. So we will know going into weeks or so how we can predictably staff rather than do it at the last minute. We find ourselves scrambling and throwing CIs and BIs on shifts that people call out for constantly. And it's really hard on all staffing, CSCs and all of us kind of chasing it. And we'd rather be proactive than reactive. And when you have a contract in place, you know that you have people signing up for those shifts. And you can predict all the way out maybe 8 weeks because some people take 8-week contracts. I think that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple math. But people would go to the contracts. We want them to go to the contracts and not wait around for the CI and BI. But that's where the money is. The money's in the contract. So we're still saving money, but, and we also talked some about layering. Some people are layering kind of like their contracts. So sometimes in a pinch, I know that people will layer their contracts with ABI. So in addition to the $20 an hour, they will add a BI on top of that. And I guess when we had a discussion about the layering, we talked about having special permission for that in tight circumstances, and only using that for example, we had a traveler that called out ended her contract at the last minute and then was on all weekend on nights, and we really were in a pinch. Because we knew it was gonna take us some time to get another traveler up and running. So in a case like that, we would pitch it to either the Gina DiDonato level or the Jason level to get special permission to layer those, but those should go away. In addition, we talked about eliminating, if people have a bonus shift during the week and they call out for one of their shifts, just eliminating the bonus shifts for that week, because sometimes people will kind of play, not everybody, but some people will play the game of calling out for a regular price shift and come in for a bonus shift. So, that's a way to kind of keep people, it's unfortunate because sometimes it's really legit reasons, but for the most part, I think that's pretty across the board. If you look at your sheet, you can see what other hospitals are paying for incentives at this time. Acadia has a tiered program. They pay $1, $2, and $3 extra an hour. St. Mary's pays $10 extra an hour, and Maine General does not currently have an incentive program because they have an increased float pool. More on that in a minute. But they do $10 an hour. So our incentives would be in line with other hospitals. I think there would be an adjustment period to that. That might be a little bit painful, but I think in the long run, and it would save you money in 30 days.
I think to give a little history to people that are not familiar with the hospital, we have successfully reduced and eliminated these bonuses before, but currently this is a proposal because we are held to the standardized bonus structure of Maine Health. So we don't have the capacity to make the choice to lower the bonuses on our own currently. But we have eliminated them in the past.
You're at 7 minutes.
Alright, our last piece of this was asking for an increased float pool. One of the big differences between our hospital and these other 3 hospitals is they have anywhere between 2 to 5 floats on per shift. Most of them tend to stack more at night. And because of that, they don't have as many last minute need to fill pinches because that float pool is available to fill those last minute pools, fill in for vacations, things like that. Just for BIs and CIs, we're spending over $1 million a year if we keep projecting the way we are, and that does not include manager stipends for getting called in or the 4 and 8 week RN payouts for contracted pay. If you include those 2 things, it's closer to $1.5 million just in that. If you look at FTEs for nurses, it costs anywhere from $105,000 to $114,000 on average for Maine per year, and that's including the cost of benefits for a full-time employee. So we could have 10 more FTEs for local nurses and still pay less than what we're paying for incentives. And have more consistency for staffing, less burnout for the staff we do have, and managers who are filling these holes last minute, and still save quite a bit of money. 10 might be a little overkill to start, but even going for right now, we have 0.85 floats budgeted per shift. Even going up to 2 would give us a little bit more flexibility and coverage.
I think that's it. Any questions?
I think I got a little lost. This is not my forte, but I appreciate the information and the questions. Are you asking to do a contract thing, or you're asking for more float pool people?
We're asking for the contracts to stay the same. The contracts are already in place.
Okay.
They won't change. The
Okay.
only thing that will
Reduce the bonuses though.
Yeah,
reduce the
bonuses, but to offset if staff are picking up less by also increasing the floats to eventually phase out the bonuses. We
Got it.
want to
So,
start decreasing
floats.
bonuses and increase our core staffing. It'll give us more consistency, because it's full-time staff that are used to floating, that are used to filling in holes in a pinch. Less, we have a shift in 6 hours, and have coverage for, let's add $30, $40 an hour extra to these shifts, and try to fill it last minute.
Got it, thank you.
To give context, I gave out 108 hours of CIs this weekend on the adolescent service alone.
Someone do the math.
And that's not including last weekend when you, me, and Tanya all came in.
So how much, you guys referenced something before that were tied to Maine Health. How much latitude do we have in terms of being able, and this is maybe to Colby
Yeah,
as well?
She's saying no.
She's saying no?
Nope, she's pleading the fifth. Sharks, you go at it, ask your question.
So, yeah, so my question was, how much latitude do we think we've got that we can turn around and say, 20 is now 10, 10 is now 5, or whatever, your head's walking, whatever the other grid was there. So 30 goes to 15, 20 goes to 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So-
that's not my wheelhouse, that's yours.
Yeah, so that's just a concern that I've got going through the back of my head. But look, I agree with it. I would do it right now, but I don't know that even I have that authority. So that I think is an issue. I'll be honest, I've never really been a huge fan of float pools, only because sometimes I've seen float pools doing exactly that, just floating there, not really doing anything. So I really want to watch that extremely carefully. But I like the direction you're going in.
Maybe what I will say, so I can't speak on what we could, please Belle, don't. Just an observation for any time we have a question about something that exists at the system level, I've never seen a team ask for less, so, you know, I think we can ask the question, I don't think that hurts.
I have one question just to hit it home, because I've got it in front of me, and I just want to clarify. What do you predict saving,
Half.
which equals?
So just on the incentives, we were at 1,020,000 for a year. So even if we save half, that's 500,000. And keep in mind that number doesn't include manager stipends, because we couldn't exactly audit that. And it doesn't include the 4 and 8 week nursing contracts, because those are paid out through Infor, not in WFM. So it's most likely much higher than 500,000. We just don't have a set in stone number for the other 2 incentive pieces.
How will you measure it?
We
You can
audit
run
the
a-
incentives anyway. We run a report every month of how much we're spending, how much an increase or decrease from the month before, and kind of where our variances are coming from. So we would have it built into that same audit of where are we compared to before we change the structure around versus after.
What if it goes up?
I don't know. I don't
Why
know
would
if
it go up?
More call-outs than you expected.
So currently, we have incentives on just about every shift because of how fluctuating staffing is. I don't know if it could go up.
Unless we had a mass exodus of staff,
Yeah.
that'd be a different conversation.
Historically, it's driven per diems back to benefited positions. Because we have a lot of people that step down out of benefited positions to go per diem, knowing that they can get this critical incentive attached to most of their work shifts. So historically, it's proven that people go back at least to part-time positions to offer more consistency.
So what do you think the staff reaction to this would be?
It won't be great.
I don't think they're gonna like it. Initially, I think it'll be bumpy.
You know, it's surprising though, it's really been I'm looking to Gina because she's done this with me several times before, it's really been a fleeting moment of dissatisfaction. I think all of our staff are hearing how financially stressed the hospital is, and we're really working to minimize unnecessary expenditure. They know how much this is costing. Some of them themselves, this is actually a big disengaging factor for current full-time staff that can see part-time or per diem staff make triple the amount of money that they're making to walk in the door and do the same shift.
Yeah.
So it is disengaging to per diems, but it's more engaging to our benefited staff, and that's really what my target is.
You good?
I'm good.
No more questions? Thank you.